What is up, guys? It's your boy Smalls back with another episode of The Vault from Thoughts from the Bench, the show where we take a look back at some of the best and worst jerseys in sports. With me, as always, the best co-host on the internet, Mr. Benny Buckets. How's it going tonight, buddy?
Dude, I am one step at a time, one sip at a time, working my way to the vault every week. How about you, bud?
Hey, man, it's a highlight of my week, man. Highlight of my week. I say it every time. But, yeah, one sip at a time. Now, you got that right. Speaking of that, what do you have on deck tonight?
Well, I only have a little left, so I'm going to be sparing with it. But, Smalls, just like a couple weeks ago, whenever that was, it's been a long week. And so I figured that I needed some guidance, maybe of, I don't know, an admiral or a captain, perhaps. So I have some captain here. There's only a little left. Been plowing through the week, but I'm just going to finish her off. So.
Nice. Nah, I get it. I've had those weeks too. So
Well, what about you? You looked like you had something tasty in your cup.
So I decided to embrace the New England lifestyle that I'm living right now. So I got some of this. I was never really a Sam Adams guy, but I kind of like Sam Adams, dude.
I like Sam Adams. I do. And I don't know why. I can't even really explain it, but I do. I dig it.
Yeah. This is the summer ale. I don't know. It's pretty fucking easy to drink. I've had it a few times since being up here. So I was never really a big
It's so good.
Yeah, I was never really a big Sam Adams guy. I'm not really sure why, but like
I'm not really sure why.
Just was never really for me. But I gave it another shot up here, and like that's really been my go-to up here, probably because they have it fucking everywhere. But Benny, speaking of being in New England, I think I texted you. Your boy's going to Red Sox Yankees here in like 3 weeks.
I am so jealous of you, dude. You literally are going to firsthand witness most likely the greatest rivalry in sports. You are going to witness history, and I am very stoked for you, and especially because Fenway, that and maybe Wrigley are like typically for like baseball historians like number one checklist. Like, you got to get to Fenway. And that's hell for me. That is on my checklist. So, dude, I am so stoked for you. I'm happy for you. I'm glad you're going. Yep. And what better way to break you into New England lifestyle than that and maybe a bowl of clam chowder?
Yeah.
I don't know. You just got to go get the whole experience.
Exactly. Yeah. So my girlfriend is actually living in Boston now, and a few weeks back she walked into Yankees Red Sox tickets, and of course it was the one weekend I wasn't there, so I couldn't go. And like she doesn't like baseball. Like she likes watching football with me and that kind of stuff, but definitely not a baseball person. She went and she was like, that was fucking incredible. Like, that was electric. Yankees Red Sox is like a must-see thing. Like,
well, and that there's baseball, and then there's Yankees Red Sox.
Mm-hmm.
It's its own game.
Yeah.
And dude, for the vault and all the viewers, you gotta have some type of either photo or video, little bits of recap, just to let us in on what happened, because dude, I'm stoked for you.
Yeah.
That is something I'm very jealous of.
Yeah. I was on, Let Go last week, and the person never fucking answered me, but I found a Jason Varitek Red Sox jersey for like my size, everything white, like I think it looks pretty new, at least from the pictures. $20, like a legit stitched jersey for like $20. They haven't answered me. Like they gave me like a response like right away, and then after that they just kind of ghosted me. So like
Varitek, dude, he was one of my favorite players with the C on his chest. He was a badass.
Yeah.
Love that guy.
Yeah.
Damn, dude. That would have been a vault heat check for sure.
Oh, without a doubt. I'm gonna still try to pester this person, but like they just looks like they haven't. I don't know. They haven't really looked, but Yeah, I don't know, man. It's I'm excited to be up here. I didn't think that I would like New England, but like, it's not bad. I mean, if I had to be anywhere, like, there are worse
You got to give
places.
yourself time to settle in. You
Yeah.
know, I think it'll end up not being too shabby once you get your feet wet. But hey,
Yep.
great way to do it. It's a Red Sox game.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Okay, so let's move right into this ad read. I got it this week. So this week's topic is brought to you by Marshall Fitness. Marshall Fitness is an online training resource to make sure that you achieve your fitness goals on whatever schedule, you know, whether it's with work, kids, you know, just everyday life that gets in the way. Will works with you every single day to make sure that you get all the support you need, whether it's diet, you know, workout programs, whatever the case may be. As of right now, he is still taking on full-time clients, but he also has 2 different packages basically that he can dish out and help you out with. I actually hit Will up last week, so this is probably news. I'm trying to climb Mount Rainier in Washington a year from now. Need my boy Will to get me in shape for that, so he's going to be kicking my ass for a few months. But anyway, go check out Will Marshall on Instagram. Check out Marshall Fitness to help achieve all your fitness goals. The best time to start is now. Benny, this week's topic, brought to you by Marshall Fitness, is the MLB Turn Ahead the Clock Jersey Week. Like, this is, I mean, this is vintage vault right here. This is about as good. This is one of the reasons that I started this shit, because these motherfuckers are so weird, like, so rare. They were only ever worn once. Like, I love this. I'm so fucking excited.
the only place they belong is on this show.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely super pumped. I'm glad we were able to fit this in, especially in the heart of baseball season too.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that this is a good one to bring out.
Yeah. So you'll notice a few themes when we go through these. A lot of clip art. It looks like they went on Microsoft Word and, you know, copied and pasted some clip art. They have the horizontal name or the vertical names, which is a wild move. Fucking wild move.
Why?
I just learned this today. I was doing some research, you know, just making sure I wasn't missing anything. So these jerseys, and we'll get into it in a second, but these jerseys are meant to look like they're from the year 2021. Do you know why they picked so the year of our Lord 2021 was the year that they decided to go with, but do you know why?
I have no clue.
Because the real estate company Century 21 was a sponsor of Major League Baseball back in 1999, and that is the only reason.
That's it.
That's it. I personally think that's incredible. Like that's so fucking funny. Century 21.
That is.
Doesn't get much better than that.
All right. Who else sells houses?
Remax, bro.
I'm not going. Yeah, I'm gonna be a Remax guy now. Oh my god. Well, damn. I guess times were extra wild back then, but
yeah, I don't know, dude. Y2K was coming up. You know, they were panicking.
They were scared. They turned their fears to a real estate company. Oh man, Jesus. Well, dude, I'm actually shedding a tear or two. That is, yikes.
But yeah. So just to recap though, this is basically just like it was 1999. MLB decided to, you know, they had these special uniforms, and really started with the Mariners in 98. They did it once, and then the MLB basically hoard out all the other franchises to make sure that they did it just to make money. Turned out to be a beautiful disaster, and that's what we're talking about today. It was 14 games, 22 teams.
That's the best way to put it. Beautiful disaster.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
That was, you know what, Small's poetic. That was great.
Chefs. So Benny, we're gonna get into your first jersey. Who you got?
All right. So first off, Smalls mentioned chefs. Muff, day one lifestyle. Where the hell's our food? Anyway,
Boom.
San Francisco Giants is the first one I'm going with, and the reason I went with this is because if you can use the word clean, for these jerseys, these are probably the people that I would put, just because it was so rudimentary, black and white. But they're typically black and orange as most of their colors. I kind of like that they went with this very plain style where they blew up the logo, right, tilted it a little bit, but you don't see the black and white only combo from the Giants ever. And the fact that they did it here, I know some people might argue that they looked a little White Sox-ish, but who gives a shit? I thought that this was a clean look for San Francisco. I like the font of their numbers on the back and the font of the actual letters. This is one that I really don't have any gripes with as a turn ahead the clock. Like, this is one that if they brought it back in today's, I'm not saying that it would look good, but I think that it would be the one to survive the best out of the turn ahead of clock.
Yeah. It's definitely the cleanest look out of all of them. I have the least amount of problems with this one. Like, none of these are really that good. I mean, the logo's of course obnoxious, and that's a theme, right? I mean,
throughout all of these,
it's gonna be a theme, but they still had the weird names and numbers on the back, but I mean, so did every other jersey. Kind of looked like that on the back. But honestly, I mean, imagine, I gotta say though, Pablo Sandoval, the Panda, I think he might pull these off. Black and white, dude.
I think he'd be a big fan.
Yeah.
And I don't just mean big fan, but like a big fan.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's as far as these guys go, this is probably the best looking. Like, if you had to pick one that actually looked good and, big asterisk next to good, I would say that these are probably it.
Big asterisks. Yeah, and that's, like I said, I think it's the one that would survive the best in terms of, like, it's still not great, but none of these were great.
Yeah.
It's the one that I feel like looks the least ridiculous, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it honestly just kind of looks like a normal, outside of the numbers and the big logo, the jersey just kind of looks like a normal vest jersey. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just...
Yeah, 100%.
You can kind of see the weird sleeves, and you'll see it in my first pick. You see the weird sleeves that they have going on that, it almost looks like they're out of Starship Troopers. But like I don't know. These out of any of them, they would probably hold up the best, I think.
I agree.
So, pick number one. I decided to start with this one because I've already talked about this one probably 3 times. So it's not really going to be a surprise. Like, I'm not...
You knew it was coming. Everybody, you knew it.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, you knew these were on the list.
Yeah, I mean, we've said it all before. It looks like burnt pepperoni pizza. It looks like a Ronald McDonald birthday party. It looks like... I mean, these look like... It looked like a sci-fi original network like TV movie based on space pirates. That's just, I mean, I've said it all before, so I'm not really gonna go.
Not what I think is new, but I like it.
But I mean, these are just these, in my opinion, this is one that I would pay money for because they are that bad. Not only is it a homer pick, it's a glimpse into the pain of a Pittsburgh Pirates fan because we had to wear these.
This is what cursed us.
Yeah. And that's
Bob Nutty. Bob Nutty, you suck.
Yeah.
But dude, the combo with the striped pants, the gray striped pants, kills me.
It's tough. It's bad. Like, why do they have to get the yellow bandana is the part that, like, gets me every time. Like, let alone the
red. Why did they mix it up?
Yeah, like, let alone the red jersey.
Okay. Hear me out. How do you think you would feel about these if the bandana was red like the typical logo and the heart of the jersey was yellow?
So the red and yellow are swapped.
Yeah.
I would think for the purposes of this episode, I would think that'd be better because that'd be way funnier.
It would be funnier, and I think that if the main part of the jersey was black, they might actually be hard.
As hard as these can get, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's the asterisk.
Caveat.
Is as hard. Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, these are hanging in the rafters for me. This is, again, one of the reasons I started the vault with shit like this ridiculous nonsense that the big sports leagues just decided to pawn off on us because they wanted to make a quick buck, and this is a perfect example of that. And who else better to don these than our lovable losers, the Pirates, the Buccos? So cheers to you, Bob Nutting.
Yeah, you jerk.
Got him.
Bob Nutting is a jerk.
Gotta stop nutting, man. We have to stop nutting. Are you okay?
I have to stop
there?
nutting, and I gotta stop drinking liquor.
Jeez.
I gotta stop doing that. Why do I do that? Why do I do that?
Yeah, maybe take a time out.
Oh man. Yeah, I mean the doctor said it's a problem, but what does he know? So anyway, moving on to number 2 for me.
Moving on.
We have also mentioned this before. I actually really like this Rockies one. I think maybe it's something, especially because of what I just suggested for the Pirates, that maybe I just like the black turn ahead the clock jerseys. These aren't so bad. I think because the mountains are coming up from the groin area, right? And I like the numbers up on the chest. I kind of dig it. And the Rockies have a good logo, and especially for this being a 90s creation, the Rockies have a 90s logo. Like, if you look at that, that reminds me very much so like the old Utah Jazz. Same color scheme and kind of design. Like, I feel like it looks very 90s-esque. And for baseball, this is one of the few that I think took on the turn ahead the clock motive and blossomed with it. I don't know. And I know I made fun of the Pirates for having striped pants, but I think these being white with very thin black pinstripes and there being black and white in their jerseys and it not being completely different looks like a good combo. I actually really dig this.
Yeah. I mean, it's a weird look. The jersey itself, it's not like a typical baseball jersey. Not even like a typical like pullover baseball jersey that they wore back, in the 70s and that kind of thing. So there's that caveat. Like, yes, what Ben is saying is that for as bad as these could have been, they turned out pretty okay. Like, and at least the look of it, like, it's not bad. It really isn't. I kind of like it. Like,
I kind of like it too, and I also think that it would be good for freedom of expression because I could see this being worn as just a mesh tank top at and I'll put this as delicately as possible, a Be Yourself nightclub. I think that this could be worn around. There'd be a lot of people fist bumping and probably pop a molly or whatever, but this is a feel good jersey, and it looks enough to a point where you would have. If you don't want to feel less than a grown man, you would need to wear something underneath. Mm-hmm. But I could see this being one that, at parties that we've talked about, or whatever, it could make the comeback. Even, you throw a black hoodie underneath that, something like that. This is something that I could see making a reoccur.
Yep. And yeah, the numbers are a good touch. It definitely it's almost like the old Suns logo, like that sort of thing.
That's a better comparison.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a better one.
But no, I mean, as far as these turn ahead the clock uniforms go, I mean, it's probably one of the upper echelon. I mean, it doesn't look that bad. I know that it's a weird cut, and people are gonna, and I get
Cut's
that.
Always weird. Yeah, I mean, on these, it's
that's a given.
I don't know.
Yeah, but the number, I do like the numbers. I honestly didn't even notice that. I feel like none of the other ones really have that, which is kind of cool. But yeah, no, I've never. It's not like I've been a fan of the Rockies. I've never hated the Rockies. I've never really liked the Rockies. I just always think that they look kind of good on the diamond. Yeah, pretty much all the time. So
that's how I feel about them too. I know, growing up, that was my dad's second team, just because he liked their logo and their colors and the way that they look. So, I mean, hey, Rockies, tip of the cap. That was, you did okay for a time that for a series of jerseys, and it wasn't looking good for any of you.
Yep. No,
So
these were the guys before Y2K that were saying, "Hey, it's gonna be okay. Like
we'll be all right.
yeah, we'll be all right." All right. Second jersey for me.
These are great. These are awesome.
I'm gonna go with the Arizona Diamondbacks. These are, I'm kind of torn on these. So the pattern on the snake looks pretty cool. However, it looks weird because it only goes around like twice. I think if they would have went around
Not
one more
even
time,
1.5.
yeah, exactly. Like if they would have went around like one more time, I think it could have looked okay. Not only that, the snake head looks kind of weird. It looks like someone doing a hand puppet. So they could have done better on that.
No.
Again with the weird, names and stuff on the back. But like this, the thing is, if they were to redo this in a normal jersey and somehow incorporated that snake differently with the colors, I think it would have looked really good. Yeah, I'm just saying on like a normal jersey.
Yeah, if they modernized it, I think it would be better, but not on the cut or material of the turn ahead of the clock jersey. Like, if they incorporated it into a newer jersey, I completely agree with you. I think that would be all right.
Yeah. And again, I feel like the Diamondbacks have always had just a really fucking cool logo. Even the newer one, I think they should go back to their old colors. But
I agree.
But I mean, it works though. The pattern is what makes me torn about this one. Because it could look really cool if they would have done it right, but they didn't. Just
well, see, I think another thing, like you were pointing out about the colors. Say they go back to that, right? And the Coyotes fully go back to those throwbacks. They would be the second city to Pittsburgh to have all of their teams have relatively similar colors. So I would actually push for the Diamondbacks to do that. And Arizona governor or whoever the hell, turn your hearing aid up because that's a damn good idea.
Have you ever heard the thing that, I don't know, I don't think it's a whole state of Arizona, but there's at least a section of Arizona that does not abide by daylight savings. They literally say fuck daylight savings.
Don't turn their clock.
They don't do it.
I need to go live there because daylight savings is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Okay? Who are we saying? It's for the farmers. I promise you the farmers don't give a shit about an extra day out. An hour, get up early. You know what I mean? I think, now granted, this might sound a little crazy because I know the Earth's rotation, we should all be on one world clock. And if normal operating hours in your country are 3 a.m. to 11 a.m., then I'm sorry, buddy. That's just how you have to deal with it. Those are your normal hours. We should all be on one standard clock, and then you just adjust your hours of operation. But us, everybody, oh, what time is it over there? You should know. You should all be able to look at your watch or your phone or your clock and know that it's the same time every fucking place in the world. And I know that other people are going to raise a question. Anyway, this is why this show is great. Because why the hell are we talking about daylight savings time? It's a goddamn Jersey show. But that's what the Vault's all about. Freedom of expression.
What a rant. That's a clip. That's clipped. Absolutely, daylight savings.
Oh, I almost wish it wasn't, but
oh man, no, that's great. I'm gonna put that one down. But in summary, these could have been cool had they not been turn ahead the clock jerseys. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Benny, let's go to your third and final pick. I really did try to find a better picture. This is a little grainy.
I know, and that's the only one I could get for you. And I believe that's Ryan Dempster.
It might be.
I think what a fucking legend that guy is. But the Marlins, I always liked their old logo. I love that logo. I like that it's an actual Marlin wrapped around the F that I think is actually a really cool font. And I love the color scheme of the black and teal. I think that's a very underrated combo. I don't know. I think, and granted, it is very bare bones in the sense of where it literally looks like their hat, but it's a jersey. I kind of like the unilateral movement there, and with the white pants, but the black socks, black shoes, black jersey, black and teal hat to match their black and teal jersey. I don't know. It's I really can't say much. I just like it. And a lot of it does revolve around the fact that I simply just like the logo.
I do like the logo. I don't know. This is another one where they didn't try very hard. Like, this is one of those that they just didn't try very hard. Like, some of the other ones, like, you can tell they kind of tried. Like, I don't think a lot of teams really put that much effort into a lot of these, but, like, this one, the least amount of effort possible. They were like, all right, what's ours going to look like?
Absolute bare minimum. like on the bottom of the barrel.
At least the Buccos had the presence of mind to switch their colors, you know? Like, these guys didn't even do that. They just kept, we are the Marlins, and that's all there was to it. Like, they didn't do anything else. The old Marlins look, I did like, not these, but the old Marlins look, you know, I did kind of like the logo, the colors. Dontrelle Willis was a fucking phenomenal pitcher. I think they won the World Series in '97, I think.
No, it was like 2003. It was a lot newer. I'm positive. I'm pretty. It actually might be exactly 2003.
I kind of want to see, because I feel like they definitely won it in '97. Yeah, you might be right. Actually, I'm thinking about this now. Oh, okay, so they won it both years, 2003 and '97. Okay, all right.
Got it. See, you didn't know about 03. I didn't know about '97. So there we go.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. These are they're standard Turner Had the Clock jerseys. I just think it's so funny. Like, all these are so funny to me, but I think that these are great because they just put no effort into it. It's the kid that stayed he did his book report the morning before, you know.
I was just gonna say, dude, they did it the night before. Like, they were like, hey, do you have your Turner At the Clock jersey? And they were like, hang on, here you go. Yeah. And that was it. They just took a giant logo, pressed it on a black and field jersey. But I like it, and I almost like it because they were that lazy.
Yeah, it's endearing.
I think exactly best way I can put it. Hell yeah, get that shot game, brother.
Yeah. Fuck Derek Jeter, by the way. He's the one running that sham of a franchise down there. He's running that bitch into the ground, dude.
Now Alex Rodriguez owns part of the Timberwolves. What the fuck is happening?
I didn't even hear about that.
Yeah.
No.
Anyway, Smalls, what do you have for me for our last pick of the night?
All right, so I'm going Seattle Mariners. So
they were the flagship.
Yeah. So these were the OGs. They were the only team to do this in '98. And it was just, I'm sure it was just like a quirky idea that, you know, the marketing staff came up with, like, hey, what would jerseys look like, you know, 25 years from now? This is what they came up with. What I love about, and it was such a hit because it was a one-time thing, and then the MLB was like, never mind, we want it because we want some money. So they made everyone else do it, but this was the OG. What I like about this is that guy right there, Ken Griffey Jr., is by far one of the coolest baseball players of all time.
Ever.
Like,
arguably the.
Yeah. Like, he epitomized cool. Like, what it was to be an athlete and be cool, that was Ken Griffey Jr. Like, he was just awesome.
You gotta figure, and I know that there's going to be a lot of baseball fans probably pissed at this. You know how hard it is to be cool in baseball?
Yeah.
Especially in the last, 60 years. The fact that he, I think, just kind of personified the 90s and into the 2000s, which, I mean, we got to see more of his Cincinnati Reds days than, his Mariner days. But, I mean, he had the legitimate swagger and attitude and demeanor of what it meant to be a cool athlete. And I mean, you hit it right on the head, dude. Ken Griffey was that guy. I mean, still, kids who never saw him actually swing a bat look up to him just because of his legacy. You know what I mean? So I think, you and I talk all the time about how a jersey's going to look better if you have an awesome player wearing it. And this is definitely the case with this jersey.
Yeah, and on top of that, so Again, these are bad. No one's pretending that these are good, but
Not at all.
But Ken Griffey Jr. somehow made these cool, and I'll tell you why. The day that he saw these, it was before the game that they were supposed to wear these, he was like, fuck it, I'm going to do whatever I want and just make it look as cool as possible. He wore his hat backwards for the entirety of the game. He had a can of metallic silver spray paint that he painted his glove and cleats with. And at one point, he literally was telling his teammates to untuck their jerseys. And whenever the team told them not to, he said, why? Why not? That's what the futuristic players would do. Also, didn't the 70s White Sox play with their jerseys untucked? And he just played the entire game just not giving a shit and somehow making this look cool. I don't know how he did it, but
I did not know any of that.
Yeah.
So that is nuts. And just, if anything, I mean, multiplies how cool we were just talking about it. So
yeah. He made such an impact with these. The Mariners brought it back. Like they brought back these. Now, I think they had like probably a shorter cut. It was more of a tank top when they brought it back, but the players were still allowed to turn their hats backwards. No sleeves. Like it was wild to see, but like they did bring these back because Ken Griffey Jr. just didn't give a shit, and he made it cool. So I don't know. These were the OG. This is what started the whole trend. Unfortunately or fortunately, however you want to look at it, like these were the ones that started it all. And honestly, like I kind of dig the Mariners, like this logo right here. I kind of like it.
I do.
Yeah. Even the numbers are like kind of cool. The colors, 'cause normally they're like that, the teal, which I think is a really good look. That teal up in Seattle, I think it kind of pops. I really like it, but they kind of went with like the maroon here, which I think turned out, again, as well as it
ended up being all right.
Yeah, as well as it could, you know. But yeah, Ken Griffey Jr., fucking legend. Let's move on to honorable mentions. We got some stinkers here. I never even knew about the top one. The Mets.
They're so bad.
Dude, the Mercury Mets. The New York Mercury Mets. What they were trying to do here, I actually have space, I guess. I don't fucking know.
What they need to do is throw them in a goddamn bonfire. I mean, that's possibly the worst one.
Like, terrible. Like, absolutely horrendous. Who okayed this? Because they have these, like, weird hieroglyphic, like...
Yeah, what is that?
In, like... Oh, man. I think these were probably the worst. Like, I hesitated to put these in because, like, I wanted to put this on my top 3, but I kind of liked my other ones better. These are so bad. Like, this is, for me, it's like... This
is a dishonorable mention.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it's that bad.
Yeah, like, the Pirates and the Mets are, like, so close. And, like, I'm going to go with the Pirates because they are at least a beautiful disaster. This is just a disaster. And crazy enough, the Buccos and the Mets played each other when they wore these. Found that out tonight, too.
Of course they did.
So,
of fucking course they did.
2 disasters of franchises right there. And then we have the Kansas City Royals decided to go all gold and just
like a pissed yellow gold though.
Yeah, but then like a different shade for their like batting helmets.
Now the helmet I actually like. If they kept the jerseys, maybe that same color. But yeah, dude, these are also a disaster. The pants too. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah,
they're just bad.
No, yeah, there were some. These were stinkers. Both of these, I had to throw them in there because they were just so bad. At least make a match. You know, if you're gonna go like yellow, go with the yellow batting helmet. If you're gonna go with this gold, go with a gold jersey. Like, pick a lane. You know. Anyway. Thanks, Sammy. We're gonna go. So Benny, we're gonna wrap this one up. I mean, one of my favorite topics. It's about time that we did this one specifically. So
I feel like it's been a hot minute since we touched baseball, and what better way to get right back into it than hopping in our time machine and and I guess in this case traveling back in time, since they clearly already traveled forward in time to see that this is what all baseball teams are wearing now. This dude, one of my favorite topics, because it's so hilarious to think that was what we were supposed to be doing now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, really glad that we got this topic, and you and I reference these all the time. So the fact that we were able to get to the episode about it, I was stoked. I had a great time, and I look forward to getting to it again next week.
Yeah, absolutely. Few notes. So go buy our fucking shirts.
Go buy our shirts.
Go buy our fucking shirts, please.
If you like this show at all, if you like Smalls, if you like me, if you like our logo, if you like Thoughts on the Bench, if you like what we talk about on the show, show some people by wearing us on your chest and on your back. It's that simple. You will be able to find it if you go to thoughtsonthebench.com and then you click our store tab. You'll be able to find it. Ignore all the other bullshit that you're going to see on there. They're not worth your money. Ours is. Okay, so spend your money wisely. Get a cool shirt. And rep the boys. Rep the show that you're truly a fan of. And help us out, because it's also a competition here. And if you know Smalls and I, we are extremely competitive. And we can't do that without you, so please help push us off.
Yeah, and I want to show everyone what we're looking
Great
at.
idea. This is an excellent preview.
Come on.
I'll Vanna White it here.
Come on. You know you want to. Come on. And if you didn't see my commercial, Edgar Snyder wants you to buy this fucking shirt. So
he said it. There's not a fee unless you don't buy this shirt. That's essentially what is being said now. Is you won't get fined. In fact, Edgar Snyder said that he will give you free law services if you buy this shirt. No charge.
Yep. So
go ahead and just buy the shirt, and then if you're dealing with any legal issues, we literally got you covered. Yeah. Physically and law-wise, because, me and Edgar are fucking tight.
Mm-hmm. So go buy our shirt. Please go buy our shirt. I don't even care what the prize is. It's a pride thing for me. I just want people to know that we are the best show. I firmly believe that we are the best show. Not talking shit. We are the best. I'm talking shit. We are the best show. And another few things I want to note. Please go subscribe to Thoughts from the Bench's YouTube page so that you see every single new episode of The Vault that comes out. Every sub helps. We're trying to grow the channel, and this is one of the shows that is going to try to do that. A few other notes we're going to try to have in the upcoming weeks. Will Marshall on with Marshall Fitness. He wants to come back on. So we'll love to have Will. I want to say it's going to be next week or the week or sometime in the next few weeks. Brandon with Hippie at Heart. You've probably seen him on Two Beers Deep. If you haven't, seems like a really good dude. I've talked, just over text with him so far. Really excited to have him on. I think we have a logo episode coming up with him that I think could be really cool. He basically designs really dope vintage clothing, and I feel like that's a kind of a different lane than what we've went with guests on this show. But
it still fits in our aesthetic and what we like about the show. So he's going to be coming on and hopefully be able to provide us some good content. And just to double up on what Smalls was saying, if you are a Facebook watcher, please go ahead and just give us a click on YouTube as well. And if you're a YouTube watcher, share it on Facebook. You can find it through Thoughts on the Bench's Facebook page as well. We're trying to grow this as much as possible. And as much as we believe it's the best show, we're not going to be able to get that out there as much if there's no outreach from the people that are loyal fans to it. So if you like the show or you even know anybody who you think might, please give them a share from our Facebook link or our YouTube link. That's going to help us out a lot. Don't forget to buy your damn shirts. All right, you need clothing. Everybody needs it. Nudity's illegal. Buy a damn shirt.
No shirts. No
No.
service.
Yeah, no Edgar Snyder service.
All right, that's enough. All right, Benny, it's been a good one. Cheers, buddy.
Hey, been happy to be here with you, buddy. Cheers.